Hi, this is James again, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And if you would, bless my Cash App. Bless my Cash App so I can get more acrylic paint, masking tape, and paint brushes. It's for my art, okay? My art, you can view it on maskingtapetreasures.com, all right? This one, this one is called 65 South. Yes. Look, I was like 16 or 17 years old, and my father decided to go to Alabama with my uncle. We were in Chicago. So he was, you know, thinking about going to Alabama. So I asked, "Can I go? Can I go? Can I go?" He said, "Yes, you can come." So we got ready to go, and then we drove to Alabama, and I was confused to why he kept explaining where we were, where we were going. Like he kept saying, we are on I-65, okay? So keep going on I-65. You got to keep going on I-65. So you have to keep looking for that. Keep looking for I-65, okay? And if you take that, if you do that, you can't go wrong, okay? He said you can't go wrong. So, well, when we arrived to Alabama, Jasper, Alabama, we had a good time. I know I did. I kicked it with my cousins and everything. It was fun, man. Well, 4 days later, we got ready to go. As we packed the car, my father told me, "Look now, your uncle is not going home with us, all right? He's not going back with us. So you're going to have to drive his car back, okay? And you can trail me. You can trail me." That's what he told me. And I said, "What? What?" And I said, "Okay." I was excited, actually. I was excited. It was late in the evening, so when we departed, it was late in the evening. As we were approaching the interstate, my father suddenly took off. Like he was going like 90 miles an hour. He really was. And I was pushing the car to try to keep up with him. But look, he had a Buick Electra and I had a smaller car. And that car wasn't able to keep up with him. So I tried to keep him in my sights. But eventually it got dark and I lost him. I lost him. All right. Well, anyway, I kept driving straight. Then I wasn't on 65 anymore. So I was like looking at the signs and stuff. I wasn't on 65. So I pulled into a rest station, okay? And the guy at the gas station part, he told me, he said, "Look, you got to go back like a mile and then hit the exit then." So I said, "Okay." So I went out and I sat in the car for a while. And I ain't gonna lie, I cried. I cried. And I was wondering, I said, why didn't he stop? Why didn't he slow down when he didn't see me behind him and stuff like that? So I went back to that exit and then I got on it. When I was getting ready, I was approaching the exit, finna get on it, it said 65 North. And oh man, I was happy to see that. So I got back on it. I was gone. I was gone then. You know. So then I kept driving. I kept driving straight, you know. And I would look at the signs periodically, but then you know how you get when you're looking at the road, you get lulled into looking at the road, you know. So I did fail to look at the signs again. Next thing I know, when I did look, it wasn't 65 anymore. So I was back to square one, you know, and I was nervous, real nervous, and extremely sleepy, you know. So I stopped again. I had to pull over at a truck stop this time, you know, and I asked the guy in there. I said, "Look, I'm trying to get to 65 North," and he said, "Oh man, you got to go back this way, 2 exits south, and then you can get on it, and it'll curve around, and then you be going north, okay?" So once again, I was sitting there for a while, and then I started driving again, and well, sure enough, that exit said 65 North. So I just kept driving straight, kept driving straight. So it was like 6 hours then, you know. It takes like roughly 9 hours to get back to Chicago, you know, from Alabama. But it was like 6, 7 hours there. So I was thinking, I said, I got to be approaching. So I was driving and driving, and I was thinking, if I get lost, uh, how am I gonna get back? You know. So I was thinking, my mind was everywhere. It was everywhere. So I figured, I said, okay, if not, if I can't find it, if I keep getting lost, I'm gonna stop at the next rest station, and then just sit there and rest, okay, until daylight. And then I can find it, okay. So I kept driving, and then I saw 55. And when I saw 55, that was it. Then I said, I know 55 because 55 goes through Chicago, the Dan Ryan, you know. So I was driving. I decided to get off 65 and get on 55, you know. When I got on 55, I was driving. It was a breeze then. Then I started seeing familiar places. And I was, oh man. So it's like 11 hours, 11, 12 hours now of driving, okay? So I was driving. And then I got to familiar territory. Then I was thinking, I said, I'm going to go off on my father when I get home. Because this was terrible. So I was driving, and then I got to the house. I parked, and I knocked on the door. My little sister opened the door, and my father was in there asleep. He had ate and everything. He ate his dinner and everything. And it, man, it was just terrible. It was terrible. It was mad. I was mad at first. So then I woke my father up. I woke him up. I was so mad. And my mother was in there, and I said, "Man, why you leave me?" He said, "All right, you did good. You did good. I knew you'd find your way back. Okay? Because back in the day when I was your age, my father did me like that." So I was sitting there like listening to him, and he said, "My father did me like that." He said they didn't go to Chicago, but they went somewhere else. And he said his father left him one time, and he was distraught about it. And he said when he got home, he was so mad he wanted to go off. But then his father told him, you have to learn. You had to learn. Okay? You had to learn your way back. So I know it was harsh, but hey. But see, back then, it wasn't no cell phones or nothing. It was no cell phones. So I said, man, I said, all right. But I was proud of myself. I was filled with pride, the inside of me. Because, man, I found my way back. I navigated my way back, you know. So I'm telling you, but I'll never do my kids like that. But back then was a different time, you know. It was a different time. And I had a map in the car, but I didn't look at it, you know. So, all right. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with everyone. Share them with your family. Share them with your friends. Share them with your loved ones. And share them with your enemies. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Chair dance.
Oh my God.